Hi everyone, this is Jackie and it's Thursday afternoon, early evening, and I just wanted to share with you a quick little video making a quick card using the honeybee bundle. So I was just going to use up a couple of leftover kits and make up some cards for people, and I thought I might as well share those with everyone else. So before we get started though, I just want to reassure everyone, because there is some misinformation going around, that the Stampin' Up! Warehouse is still open and still packing orders and delivering, and the couriers in New Zealand are still delivering. So as of today, everything that you order is still on its way, and you are free and welcome to continue placing online orders or with me or your demonstrator, and all going well, that should all be fulfilled. That being said, of course, things are changing so quickly for everyone right now. I can't say how it's going to be, next week. But for right now, that's the status is you can carry on ordering. So I would suggest, if there are things on your wish list or things that maybe you need to stock up on, such as envelopes or white paper or adhesives, now would be a really good time, especially because it's still during the celebration period and you get some free gifts with your orders. So just first wanted to show you the bundle that we're using. It's the honeybee bundle, which is a beautiful one that we call the distinctive stamps, because the images are so detailed and beautiful. We're going to stamp one of these bees later, so you'll see that. And then, of course, bundles with the dies, with the beautiful honeycomb and the die cut bee and the beehive, and just some cute framelets that go around the stamped images. Now on this project, so I'll show you our little card, very quick to put together. We are using the golden honey papers, which are a celebration gift when your order is $110. Coordinates beautifully with the bees. However, this has currently run out of stock. I do have a few at my house, so I can potentially fulfill those. It's just going to be first come, first serve on that one. But you could use any sort of printed paper or any paper that's got a little bit of gold in it. Be creative with your stash as well. I mean, in this time right now, we may just need to be a little more creative with what we use on our projects. So I'll set that aside and let's get started. So I've cut the second to largest stitch shaped framelets out of the honeycomb paper. And I happen to have backed it with a piece of crumb cake. You could back it with any color, maybe black or white, just to give it a little more stability. And then I want to stamp my words, and I'm going to use the words from the honeybee set, the thinking of you, sweet friend, because I'm going to send these cards out to some ladies in my church organization that are on their own right now. And I am going to use staz-on because we are stamping over the metallic foil. It won't absorb the ink as well as just your standard paper and cardstock. So I think staz-on is the best choice. If you don't have staz-on and you're just using, your standard water-based ink, I would probably heat set it, or certainly at least give it a good long time to dry. Okay. Then I have a piece of 5.5 by 3 3/4 inch whisper white. And I have gone ahead and embossed that with my mind's just gone blank. It's not wood grain. It's not hardwood, but it's something along those lines that I cannot remember right now. It looks like a wood pattern. You can use some different ones. If you have the old discontinued stamp set with the honeycombs, that might look kind of cute too, especially if you don't have these exact papers. But you can use different ones, just probably something a little more along the natural sort of print, like nature sort of things. And then we're just going to adhere that to a piece of black that would be 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. Okay. And then we need a card base, which I actually forgot to prepare, but fortunately I have an extra kit next to me. So you've got just your standard A4 not A4, sorry, A5 card base here. You can cut it the long way, along the long side or the short side, doesn't really matter. It ends up being the exact same size. But before we adhere that on, let's go ahead and do the ribbon. So I've got a 17-inch piece of black. Now the people who come to my classes know this technique over and over, but maybe some of you haven't been to one of my classes. So I've just cut a piece that, if this piece is about 5.5, so this is probably about 6 to 6.5 inches, but just a little bit longer than your card. So we're going to just adhere that down, and I always recommend that you use tape or glue dots or snail with ribbon, but basically what I would call a dry adhesive. If you put glue on there, it will basically never dry, as in, you know, maybe not till tomorrow, and it will just become a sticky mess. So I suggest you just use tape sort of things. And you want to leave this unadhered, okay? Then I've already put dimensionals on the back here, so let me just pull those backings off. Now I'm using the black dimensionals. Perhaps you haven't seen these yet. Now these ones, the pack of them is a little more expensive, but it's because you get 2 sheets of the mini ones and 2 sheets of the standard, or this size. This is the standard size ones. So you're getting more packs or more sheets of dimensionals in the pack. Okay, so you're going to adhere that on. Then let's take our little cut piece, and we're going to go ahead and put that on. And you can have that, depending kind of what words you use and how big they are, you can have it kind of peeking out the other side, or my words are a little too long, or wide, I should say. So I'm going to have mine about like that. Okay, then we're going to grab the rest of our ribbon. I'm not sure how much is there, about 10, 11 inches. And then slip that underneath the existing ribbon. And we're going to tie it into a very tight knot. And then you can tie it into a bow from there. However way you learn to tie a bow is fine. I do two loops and then just knot them again. Before you pull it tight, just get them sitting kind of where you want them to. And this is also where a glue dot here and there comes in handy if you need to sort of make the ribbon sit how you want it to. Like I might glue dot it underneath here so it sits flat. Okay, now you know all my tricks. All right, then we're just going to add a little honeybee. So I've already die cut the honeybee. Oops, except I forgot to pop out the little bits and pieces. And of course I don't know about you, but my piercing tool, even though I own 2 of them, maybe even more, they always it seems to be gone, like missing all the time. So I just have a little toothpick here that, okay. That works, or you can use your little brush. Okay, get rid of those. Now I've also cut out of the gold foil, a couple of the, 2 half-inch gold foil circles. So I'm going to put I'll make sure I'm on the screen too, a little bit of glue on the back of the bee. And then I'll just position it so I'm getting that one on the body and one on the head. And it's not going to be an exact match. You know, they're a little bit not quite right, but it's close enough. And then I'll just put a little bit of glue on those and position that wherever you want your bee to sit on your card. Then the very last thing is I'm using some of this champagne rhinestones, and I love these. Now, there is no kind of peachy color on this card. It's gold and black and white, but I just think it still actually looks quite nice. It's a little bit of a contrast, but not a really bright contrast either. I just have found so many uses for these champagne rhinestones. I would call them kind of champagne's probably a really good color. Anyway, and then, a name for it. And then inside, you can stamp some different words that you wish, but we'll stamp one of our little bees. I'm going to put him about here, and then I'll put some words in there later. So you can see how beautifully he stamps. It's so detailed and gorgeous. And then you can write your words around him or stamp something else in there as you wish. Okay, so that's me for right now. This is a good little project that you can adapt and use some different things with. But if you would like that honeybee bundle, I would suggest you get that sooner rather than later, just because we don't know what's going to happen. But I would also encourage you to send cards to people, especially at this time while we have time and people might be alone or struggling a little bit. So we can use our skills and resources and talents to support each other. So I appreciate you guys, and please reach out. Happy to have a chat. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.